Hi, everyone. My name is Tony Mazel, and welcome to the Market Trade Show. It is going to be here on a lovely Tuesday. I have with me Yoshi, who is a performance coach that also delves very much into your design work as a human. But we were going to be talking about how you can improve your performance if you are a high performing individual or high performing parent for parents that have kids, because he works very much so with kids. And he's going to be showing his wealth of knowledge here today on our show. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mr. Yoshi. Yoshi, how are you doing, my friend?
Thank you so much, Tony, for having me. I'm doing excellent. It's great and it's a privilege to have, to be on the show.
And it's so good to have you here, my friend. Can,
Thank you.
can you tell us about a little bit about your background? What first got you into performance coaching? And tell us a little bit what you're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess my, journey began as a performance individual. I think it started from trying to become a professional soccer player. Ever since I was second grade, I joined the elementary soccer team with my neighbor. And ever since then, I fell in love with soccer, and I was always like passionate about moving around because, I'm a kinesthetic learner. Those of you who are kinesthetic learner, as you know, we can't, sit down and study. You know, we can't pay attention in class, and that was me. And so I told myself that I'm gonna become a professional soccer player, and that's how I'm going to make a living, and that's how I'm going to contribute to the world. And long story short, that dream didn't come true. And so I decided in 2019 I was going to become a digital marketing agency, following different entrepreneurs out there. I thought that was like the best option for me at the time because all this buzz going on social media. So I jumped in, and I was helping small businesses with their social media presence and website optimization and running Facebook and Instagram ads. And then COVID happened, and it was amazing that COVID happened for me at the time because I was not fulfilled. I was having to have these long calls with these, CEOs and CFOs, and I was just not fulfilled. I feel like I was just checking in and helping people, helping these CEOs that only cared about money. Well, that's how I perceived it at the time. And so I was not fulfilled, and I hired a coach at the time, and that really transformed me and made me realize that if I wanted to change the external world, I first must change my inner world. I must change my identity. I must start reading books. I must start educating myself, building my character, building my discipline. And that's when I fell in love and kind of saw life in a different lens. I understood what was going on with my subconscious, my triggers, my insecurities, and that really transformed my identity, how I view myself. And that was a life-changing transformation for me. And I thought, hey, like if I could do this for somebody else, then that's amazing, that's fulfilling, because I'm sure everybody struggles with a lot of issues with procrastinations, finding what fulfills them, what motivates them, their purpose, and some of these subconscious traumas and patterns that they have that they're not aware of. And so I want to be able to, I was like, I'm going to expose expose these patterns, and I'm going to change your life, kind of change everybody's life. And that's how I transitioned into coaching, and so that's kind of my journey in 2 minutes.
That's awesome. So basically, you became an X-Man, yeah, for to X out all the bad stuff, pun intended. But I call you the Wolverine of performance coaching, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, where do you see with coaching? There's been a lot of stuff. Um, there's been a lot of stigma, I guess, with the coaching where some things are unregulated, some things have been regulated, that there's coaches a dime a dozen. And what helps you, where do you see yourself in that future, and which makes you stand out from other performance coaches out there?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think, I think that the coaching industry is rising. I think now, right now, according to the IBIS world, it says that coaching industry is $11 billion industry, and it has grown 6% each year this year, and it's bound to grow and continue to grow. And so how do we differentiate ourselves from other coaches? And one of the best method that I'll definitely look into, and I have been educating myself, is the blue ocean strategy. There is a red ocean strategy, which is the strategy of just trying to create more value in already marketplace solution providers, whereas blue ocean strategy is creating new solutions, in a different way. And so there's a lot of different ways to kind of innovate to solve different problems. Like you help parents, and that's innovation. You're specifically targeting parents, and that's amazing because now you get to go deeper into their mind. You get to go really narrow and specialize in that category. And so these different types of ocean strategies are, I think, key to kind of differentiating yourself from the market. And for me, one of the things that I would love to kind of disrupt the market is that I want to help people with healing. So integrating like healing and the masculine, so feminine and masculine energy. So really not only like providing them with the strategies, providing with the tactics, the dump like solutions, but also like healing their inner world through like meditation, through maybe NLP, hypnotherapists, and these healings that are stopping them from really stepping into their true potential is something that I really want to kind of integrate in the world.
So for some of our audience that may or may not know what feminine or masculine energy is, can you go a little bit more in depth of what that means for a person?
Yes, yes, yes. So there's a universal law that says everything has its polarity. There's plus and minus, there's cold and hot, there is, north and south, and life and death. It's two sides of the same coin. There is no life without death. And there's also masculine and feminine, and the female or male thing, it's energies that we individuals have already and within themselves. And so feminine energy is like in and caring and compassion and loving and acceptance. And masculine energy is like discipline. Like it's kind of like a sharp knife. You dissect and you find solutions, and it's determination and discipline and focus. And so these sacred masculine energies and feminine energies are both important in personal development and really really healing and creating that new identity, because it's not just about learning new things, but it's also about releasing and letting go of things that are not supporting you.
That's a great answer. I love that. That was a great answer. I'm like taking notes down. So what are three things that we would suggest for parents to keep at a high performance, since they're always going on the day, they've got kids, they're taking them to school, preparing lunches, making meals? What are three suggestions that you would give for parents to keep on that high level of energy.
Yeah, you talk about this all the time. It's understanding your purpose. It's your why. Like, what is your getting really crystal clear on your purpose? Like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? Why you are trying to accomplish this mission, or why do you want to stay in the high performance? And some ideas or some answers that come up are because I want to educate. I want to be able to, you know, have children who are, who they look up to, for example, or I want to be in high performance because, because I want to be, I don't want to be less than who I can be. So what are some like clarity on your purpose, your why, that's going to drive you to stay in that high performance? So really getting crystal clear on your reasons is definitely very important to ignite that engine within you, because without the purpose, there is no fuel. There's not something that moves you forward. And then second thing that I would love to recommend is meditation, because meditation is very powerful to slow things down, because we live in this generation, in this culture where everything is just go, 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 and do this, do that, do this. And more, and as people say that the science shows that 95% is our subconscious and it's our unconscious. So we're always running on autopilot. So all the habits and all the bad habits and good habits, everything that you have developed is running on autopilot 95% of the time. And so what meditation helps you to do is kind of observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, observe your actions. And so when you become more aware of yourself, you can start to be more conscious of what your thoughts are, what your emotions are, and how you behave. And so I think meditation is very important to creating new thoughts, creating new emotions, creating new habits to become a high performer. And then third thing is keep learning. I think that reading books are very important. I think, I think it's very important to keep learning, keep putting in new ideas and, new information, because we love to grow, and if we stay stagnant, then we're not, then we're just going back to the old habits, bad habits, going back to the regular life that you've been living the rest of your life. If you want a new life, you want to put in new information. And so I would say keep learning, keep reading books, talking to new people, and creating, empowering new thoughts, new ideas that's going to excite them.
That's awesome. That's a great response. I love that one. Can you tell us the most impactful thing that knowing about your human design has helped you do becoming a high performance coach?
Yes. So human design is one of kind of like extension of astrology, and really goes deep, digs deep into your body, which is kind of like according to your location, where you're born, the time you're born in, and it identifies who you are, what your design is, because I believe that our bodies are product of the universe, the product of the planet. And as they say that this is scientifically proven that, without the moon, women cannot give birth. There is, they can't have periods. And so, everything is kind of correlated. Everything is kind of, one with each other. Without the sun, there is no life on Earth. And so the time and place you're born at, it kind of connects you to the cosmos. It connects you to different stars and planets. And that's why it has different kind of personalities and different kind of traits when the time and location you were born in. And so with my body type, I have what's called a split definition, which is like how you process information. And there's like 4 different types of definitions that that's out there. And and split definition is I learn best when I am kind of talking to each other, when I am brainstorming with people. And this goes with like I have an open head center as well, which means is that I am easily influenced, but at the same time, I get to kind of understand people more. I get to kind of feel their energy more. And the flip side is that I'm easily influenced. So when I'm around bad people, I can adapt easy. And I'm also an air sign, so I can adapt easily, but simultaneously, I can get influenced easily. So these type of understandings help you to best strategize. So whenever I want to create something, I'll call my friends, and I have a group of accountability partners that I brainstorm with, that I talk to on a consistent basis, because that's when I ignite my genius, when I'm brainstorming, connecting with people, and just going back and forth. And so that's like my strategy. So whenever I'm by myself, you know, it's harder for me to come up with these ideas and these processes that are going to be more creative in my new business or in my life. And so I feed off other people's energy. That's another way of looking at it as well. And so understanding these kind of helps you to, okay, if I want new information, I better talk to my friends. So I strategize in these type of ways, and it has given me so much more abundance, because not only am I, becoming a peak performer, but I'm connecting with more people. So I get to have more information. I get to contribute to other people's life. They get to support me. And so I think that has been the biggest impact in my life.
That's awesome. And speaking of the biggest impacts of your life, can you tell me the most impactful thing in your time as a coach career? What has impacted you the most? Which one of your proudest moments as a coach? What's impacted you?
Yeah, I think there's few things that has impacted me. I think breaking through my client's fears together. So, and my client was to kind of enroll his client. He was kind of like a coach himself, and he was able to enroll his clients for 2,500 on a high ticket offer. And so that was really, I think it was very happy moment for me, because I was able to support him to kind of gain that confidence to, enroll a client. Another thing is, I also help a client to take kind of like not take anxiety medicine anymore, because we talked about what was causing the anxiety, what was focusing on the past and focusing on the future, and that was creating anxiety, and that was on a subconscious level, which is like your body 95% of your mind, and we were able to kind of condition that new subconscious mind. And now she doesn't take anxiety medicine. And so I think that was really happy. I was really happy, because I'm not against the pharmaceutical companies, but I believe that most of the things that are causing them stress and anxiety and depression is what's there's internal processes that needs to be coached and needs to be changed. And so these are my happy moments.
That's awesome. It sounds like one of your clients had a huge impact, which also impacted you in turn. And it's always a great feeling. That's one of the greatest feelings I have as a coach, is when you help other people and you get the results, then they return your favor, as well as makes you feel good on side. It makes you feel really good inside.
Yeah. The emotional fulfilling is I think it's amazing in coaching.
And before you had started, when you said you went on your trip or your journey, because it's not about the trip, it's about the journey, right? When you went from back in 2019 just till now, we'll just go on that short time span from the agency to doing social media management and now pivoting into coaching. What would you have liked to know prior to doing those things now, as opposed to when you were first starting?
Yeah, I would love to learn the foundation of human psychology. I would love to hire a coach to start with, because I made a lot of mistakes trying to figure things out on my own, and also how to hire a coach or how to hire somebody as your partner, because I think that it's very important to understand the criteria of a coach or criteria of who you're looking for, and what it's like psychology of what creating that foundation for happiness, creating that foundation for business, and creating that foundation for your strategies to kind of be at a peak performance. um, because I did go through like anxiety and depression while I was running my business, because there's so much going on and I was overwhelmed, and it was just crazy journey. But I think that journey had served me in the long run, because now I know what it's like to feel anxiety and feel depressed. But yeah, so I think it's creating that foundation for success.
That's good. That's a good one. I'm going to tell you that, like my mentor told me, is he says, if you ever want to have a 6, 7, 8 figure business and you have no
Mm,
idea to do that with zero knowledge of it, no skill set, how the hell are you ever going to do it? Which is why it's always good to have a coach or a mentor or someone like that be a guide to at least show you something, at least have that good roadmap. But no, I love
uh,
your response for that for sure. And what 3 lessons have you learned along the path as a coach, either yourself personally or 3 lessons that your clients have learned from you?
yeah, I think starting a business is you must learn sales. I think if you don't learn sales, then you don't have a business. And I had a lot of kind of stress and kind of you know re- um, resistance to sales. And I think this is something that I think everybody should feel comfortable with. And I think this is one of the things that the reason why most coaches don't succeed, because they're not comfortable with sales. And so I'll definitely educate yourself about sales, and make sure you have that conviction, when you sit in front of somebody that you can support. Um, and second thing is to manage your emotions. I think this is very critical in anything that you do, because if you get the anger and fear and resentment and frustration get the best of you, you're not going to have a breakthrough. You're not going to call that person up. You're not going to um, keep working. um, and so managing your emotions is definitely something that I learned. And I wasn't even aware, most of the time I wasn't even aware that like I had these like mental blocks. I had this like limiting beliefs that I had that that was stopping me from doing certain things, certain activities on a consistent basis. And I think it's about managing emotions. And then third is to change your inner world. So changing how you see yourself is something that I think it's very important to develop. It's kind of aligning your future success with identity. So when you look back, when you kind of collapse the timeline and looking at your future self, and you're making like 100,000 K a month, like what kind of identity is that? Like who what kind of identity, and what kind of beliefs, what kind of behaviors, what kind of mindset does that person have? And so in order to do that, you have to develop your identity, your characters, and become resourceful. And so those are 3 things that I would definitely learn, that would love to pass on to people: is learning sales, managing your emotions, and then shifting your identity.
This is a very pivotal aspects in business, just in general. And think of it this way, we're going to have the biggest sales coming up here within the next 3 days, right? So right after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, is coming. So
Yeah.
sales day galore. So get comfortable with it. You like shopping, you can like buying, right? You should like selling, no difference. But I also like the aspect of, like you touched on, the part of emotions, and that emotions that you definitely need to control the aspects of where that is, because I'm EQ certified, but it teaches the aspect of you need to have the thermostat mentality as opposed to the thermometer mentality when it comes to our average world. So being the thermostat in
Mhm.
our today's society is very essential and very important. So I love those facts that you put there as well. And for those that may not have those tools, that are struggling, their families that are struggling, they're trying so hard to be a performance coach, to be a coach, to be successful like you've accomplished and done yourself. What is one story you can tell them about how they can achieve this?
Yeah, sure, sure. I think there's a lot of misconception of like what love is. I know this is this is kind of different from how to become a performance coach, but I think there's a misconception of what love is, and growing up with as immigrant parents, it was very difficult for me to really connect with them and have like long conversation because they weren't really involved in the culture that I'm trying to impact in. And so I would spend most of my time in my room and doing my work and minding my own business. And at the time, I was really struggling to meet my ends meet. And I couldn't pay my bills. And right when I was struggling, my mom just handed me this $5,000 just out of the blue and said, "Here, use this." And I have not communicated anything with her regarding my debt and regarding what was going on with me. And so I was just like really like surprised and really felt like she was connected with me. And the lesson that I was able to take from that is it's really about like listening to people, like not listening but like really listening, like really seeing what's really going on behind everything, behind their the masks, like. And my mom was able to do that with me, and that was something that I felt truly grateful, and then gave me that courage to keep going because I knew that I had that unconditional support. And on the other hand, my dad is the opposite. He has like high expectations of me. He says I'm gonna change the world, and he tells me I'm gonna do this and do that, but he does not provide me with any support. Or, you know, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't give me a penny. And so it's like, and so I was, I had resentment towards him before, but now I understand that, like, I was able to make my own mistakes. It forced me to become more resourceful. And so I think that there is no perfect parenting or there's perfect family, or there's not really perfection, but really reminding ourselves that we're 100% responsible for my own life, and just starting by accepting what is, and then moving forward as a team, moving forward as a collective, is something that I think that's gonna it served me, because I had to let go of these like anger and resentment and frustrations of why my life is the way it is. And I think accepting what is and forgiving yourself, forgiving others, and then really giving affirmation that we're blessed, we have abundance already, and then so that we can achieve happily instead of trying to achieve to be happy is something that I think it's very important to perform better.
That's great, man. That was a very good introspective there. I like that part for sure. Love yourself. Have you ever read the book The Happiness Advantage by Sean Anker by chance? Or a core?
No, I have not.
You might want to read that book. I have a feeling you'd really like that one.
Hmm.
It talks
Interesting.
about a lot of the parts that you just spoke on.
Hmm.
For those that are listening to the show and that's live right now, comment below I'm watching. I'm just kidding. But seriously, throughout the week you're watching, I hope this brings a lot of value to you and that this is giving a lot of information for you within everything that's going on and tools that can help you. Now, Yoshi, is people want to work with you, become a high performance coach, or if they want to know a little bit about human design, since they're both in the same spectrum, well, how can they connect with you?
Yeah, thank you so much. And they can connect with me on Instagram, my first name, Yoshinori underscore Tamukai, my last name, or they could just, add me on Facebook. I would love to just connect and, start as normal relationship and see how we can support each other on our journeys.
Awesome. Awesome. Yoshi, it was so glad. I'm so glad to have you on the show, and you're such an awesome guy. I'm really glad that we got a chance to connect, and I got you to be on the show for today. So, again, everyone watching on there, or many of you may or may not be watching the replay as well. But if you're watching this, I hope this brings a lot of value to you. My name is Tony Mizell, and as always, keep on moving up with your intentions out. And if you'd like to be on the show, comment below, me too, in the comments below, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching it on Facebook Live. I'll look forward to the next episode here that we're coming up this week. We've got a lot of great stuff here for the Thanksgiving week. Much love and peace to y'all. Take care.
Take care.